that this is the year that you are able to just give yourself permission to say, I'm going to be around people that treat me right, that make me feel good about myself, that share my values, that I don't have time and room for any more abuse in my life.
Let me ask a little truth. I'd like to know your point of view.
Please like my video, give me a thumbs up, do all this subscribing thing, hit the bell and all that kind of stuff. What is an ego death? An ego death is when you're betrayed by people that you love, that you trusted. Basically, it changes the landscape of how you believed the whole relationship worked, who you believed you were to them, who they were to you. How you believe the whole thing worked. A betrayal like that has taken place. You're no longer safe. You know that you're no longer safe. You're no longer, and especially if this happens with your closest relationships. Someone, your partner, your family members, something like that. The most painful thing that can happen to a person. But then you get down to practical matters, like you've gone through this ego death. Now you no longer have the family, or you've been betrayed by everybody. The holidays, and when it comes to this ego death and all that kind of stuff, this is when you really need to think about restoring your dignity. It's like, basically, after this whole thing happens, how do you put yourself back together? And after you've been through this kind of experience, such an incredibly painful experience, as being betrayed and attacked by people that you trusted, my hope is that you tolerate less. I used to be overly nice and did too much for everybody else and that kind of thing. And when you're with certain kinds of people, they'll just let you do that, and they'll just take advantage of you. It's school classroom bullies. It's if you want some mainstream advice, if you want someone to do something nice for you, do something nice for them. Model what you want them to give you by giving it to them. How many of you have ever heard that? I heard that a lot, and I did that. Well, that is a mistake if you're doing that with narcissistic people, because they'll just take and take and take and never turn around and give you back anything. And that's precisely what was going on in my life. So, and then I had a lot of denial about what was really going on, because it was just too awful. I had to believe that it was all worth something, that they cared about me and they loved me and all that kind of stuff, because I was putting up with such poor treatment. So one thing that changed for me the minute that my whole divorce thing was all over with is I knew I would never, ever allow someone to talk to me and yell at me again. I told myself, I'm never going to be in a relationship again where I'm so sad, where I'm sad so much of the time, where I'm crying. It's not normal to have a situation where you're feeling like you're crying and you're crushed often. That's just not okay. So, setting some real, standards for, if I'm going to be with someone, it's going to be because my life is better with them in it. If my life isn't better with them in my life, then it's worse with them in my life, and I don't need them in my life. That's definitely, once you get really, really burned by something like this, really burned. We have high tolerance. We put up with a lot. I don't tolerate people anymore like that. I just don't. Just don't tolerate it, and I hope you don't either. It's like, I had talking to me about that they had this person who was treating him so poorly at work, and they wanted some strategies for how to deal with work, and I was just like, no, I'll help you get some strategies on how to get out of there, because this person is, humiliating her in front of coworkers and yelling at her at work, and just, they're so far down the road that it's not workable. And so, I understand everyone needs their job and but there's, we can figure out some ways to get you in a better situation than that, because that, that there's going to be no changing that person, and it's just not workable. This person's acting like they just don't have any empathy, like they have no concern for her needs, no concern for her, what she is going through, her experience as a person, no respect at all. No respect at all. So the thing of it is that once you implement certain things and you start, treating yourself, first of all, treating yourself with respect, treating yourself with dignity, taking good care of yourself, then people start noticing that, and you start drawing people in that treat you better. It kind of just expands in that way. It just sort of upgrades. It's how it does. But you've seen people, and perhaps you were even like this at one time, where you see someone who's been beaten down by life, or they lack confidence, and so they come in weakened. And people that are poorly socialized, or people that don't have, aren't well put together, will just take advantage of that kind of a person, and they'll just, they're just the bullies. They'll just treat them just terrible. People will misread kindness or niceness, being nice, as weakness. This is where kind of anger, in a way, comes in handy, because if you've gone through a situation where you've been really beaten down and abused by a lot of people, and it can make you feel, just crushed. But on the other hand, if it's bad enough, sometimes you're just the fighter in you comes back. The fighter in you kind of bounces up, and it says enough is enough, and sets new standards. That's what happened in my case. It was like, it was so over the top and so far that I came out fighting for myself, and with absolute standards about what I would tolerate from then on out. And never can't imagine being abused like that now. There's there's situations where I still can get into where, like, people misread my niceness for weakness, but they don't make that mistake very long. They figure that out pretty quick. But certain people will try. That's for sure. That still does happen. But I am no longer in relationships with anyone like that, and certainly not ever. One thing is, these relationships that went so bad, they started out bad. They started out with my being in a position of, please love me. My not feeling lovable, my wanting to do everything for them to make sure that they would love me, to earn their love. Well, this was a pattern that I learned as a child, with withholding parents. Was trying to be good enough, trying to win their love, trying to, do all this stuff. And so that was a pattern that I learned. And it was a really, really dysfunctional pattern, because first of all, men don't respond well to it. You get drawn, that's the kind of thing where you get drawn to bad men, because really good men want to pursue you. They don't want to be pursued in that way. They want you to be confident, super sexy. Confidence is a very attractive quality, and they want you to be a confident person who has, their life going on, and can receive their pursuit. They don't want you to be pursuing them. That's a masculine thing to be doing. And it's also a kind of a needy, frantic thing to be doing. That needy energy of, please love me and I'll do for you, is something that bad men will hone in on. Now, it is different. If I know about men that listen to me too, and it is different. It's a little different on the flip side, because men are supposed to be doing that pursuing thing. But still, neediness is never good on anybody. Neediness is bad for everybody. Nobody wants to be needy. Everyone needs to, know that they are worthy of love and confidence, and not let anyone mistreat them or abuse them in any sort of way. You walk through your life with a certain amount of dignity and self-respect, and that's, as you've heard a million times, you teach people how to treat you, and you really do. That is really true, that you do. And so, if coming into the holidays, of course, I am absolutely about, you don't have to be around anyone that is abusive to you or treats you badly, or it doesn't show you respect and makes you feel like you don't have your dignity. You don't have to, whether they're your blood relatives or not, you don't have to be around anyone who mistreats you. And so I hope that this is the year that you are able to just give yourself permission to say, you know, I'm going to be around people that treat me right, that make me feel good about myself, that share my values, that, I've had enough. I don't have time or room for any more abuse in my life. You know, I hope that that's where you are, so that when wherever you are for maybe Thanksgiving, you actually can feel really grateful. You know, you can feel really grateful that that day if you're an American, that day you're with people that are treating you well. You're not with anyone that's abusive. You know, you don't have to be. You know, and if you're alone or with one other person sitting doing something, or your dog, or whatever, that's great. That's way better than being around people who are disrespectful, who are abusive, who make you feel lesser than. You know, I hope this year nobody that's watching my channel or my videos has to be in that position. I really do. All right, you guys, please like my video, give me a thumbs up, do all this subscribing thing, hit the bell and all that kind of stuff. Okay, thanks so much, you guys. I will talk with you later. Bye bye.